So the umpire holds the ball aloft and siren sounded. So we're underway in our match today. Anderton and Scrobelac to contest the ruck from the first bounce. And it's away. Scrobelac gets the better of it. Comes down to Jerkovic for Thomson. Immediately onto the left foot. Kicks it towards forward 50. Attacking the football was Coy and Hood there in favoured by a reasonable bruise at the minute. So the ball tapped down by Scrobelac. This time to... It was Oppenlander for East, right across the ground. Mark not taken there. Contest was good, but the ball comes to ground level. Baker for East Geelong paddles it along the ground, helping a teammate there. Now Stacks on the mill. Umpire says, I'll have it. Moves in with the whistle. And on the 50-metre arc, half forward flank this time on the southern side of Richmond Crescent. The ball in the air. We've been going 1 minute. No score for either side at this point in time. Ball paddled toward the boundary there for East Geelong by Baker. Picked up by Jerkovic. Then the kick out of the pack towards the middle of the ground. Harriet reads it well. Takes the mark. Thinks about going back inboard, which he does. Anderton's on his own there. Takes the mark outside 50. A big towering drop punt. It's going to land in the goal square. Oh, almost a mark to Jackson McLeod. Didn't hang on to it. Now they've got Stacks on the mill beside the 10-metre square, and the umpire will move in, put the ball in the air once again. Deep in the attacking area now for Thomson. Ball goes up from the umpire. Scrobelac decides that discretion is the best.
And Baker from the full-back position plays on there from that position, so McLeod just corrals him. He now goes to the clubroom side of the ground. Scrobelac's the target. Good work from Bad. The ball comes down to ground level. O'Leary's first there at ground level. Lachlan picks the ball up, goes by hand to Paisley. He's got hands over the ball. Babs on the ground with him. Umpire's going to come in once again, and we'll restart play right on the 50-metre line. Still at the Thomson tacking into the ground. Scrobelac to do ruck work up against Jeremy Babs. So right in front of the club rooms here. So the ball is thrown in the air. Ball comes to the ground level. Picked up there, fed back by Sam Calder. He's looking for Harriet. The handball wasn't good, and now it was Spencer. He can't pick the ball up either. So the players now converge once again on the ball. Again, umpire has no choice but to come in and ball it up. So they're taking control of the game early. Not allowing things to go on for too long.
Paul Wallace seems to be moving fairly comfortably.
Yeah, a little bit surprising was that. I thought it was a little bit deeper and worse than what it might have been.
So the ball with Scrobelac knocks it down to Hildebrand. He knocks it forward. Spencer now at ground level still trying to do the same. So it's picked up by Highland. A handball comes out to Harriet. Good strong tackle. Umpire says that's holding the ball. Probably a bit unlucky there, Tommy Harriet, but had a little opportunity to feed the ball out. Gives the ball back to O'Leary. And this is Michael O'Leary. So Michael O'Leary from half-back flank now kicks the ball towards centre-half forward. Target's going to be Hoey. Spencer over the top. Comes to the front of the contest now. Matthews overruns it. Picked up there well by Hildebrand. Lying on the ground. Feeds the handball back. Goes to Lanyon. He comes out now. Highland's in the thick of things. He gets his first touch for the day. Goes by hand to Denneman. Denneman coming through the centre of the ground. Looks for McLeod. Gets over the top. Vetter actually held onto his shirt there, but he's got away with it pretty nicely. Now at ground level, McLeod picks the ball up. Looks to feed it out, but there's a push in the back, and the free kick will go to Jackson McLeod.
I reckon he might have got the third free kick in that passage of play.
So McLeod only some 15 metres out from goal. He's on a bit of an angle here, and a real opportunity for Jackson McLeod to put through the first major for the afternoon. 4.5 minutes gone first quarter. Jackson McLeod comes in. Will kick from about 20 metres out from goal, so distance not a problem. Accuracy the only concern. It goes across the front of goal and through for...
Geelong are just too slow in picking their direct opponents up.
So Baker has kicked the ball to himself. If he's not careful, he's going to concede there, but East have got absolutely nowhere. The ball's only 20 metres from the goal line, but now they've got away with a handball to Hildebrand, and he goes outside defensive 50 now. Mark taken by Hoey. Welcome addition to this side. Nice looking kick, and he's found teammate out there. Is that Singleton?
Yep.
He goes along the boundary line looking for Oppenlander. Fine. Well, Oppenlander luck was if there is here as the ball's thrown in. And Anderton gets the tap down for Thomson at ground level. East doing well. The ball kicked out, picked up there by Harriet. Under pressure. Doesn't get a kick away. Picked up by Hoey. He does get a kick. Left foot towards the forward line. It's high. It decides to go across the ground basically to the goal square. Mark taken by Lennon. Now they continue. The switch of players on. Dowie He's got Denneman along the boundary, doesn't use him, goes longer towards the centre wing. Bounce doesn't suit too many players there as Mick O'Leary picks it up. Handball to Carpenny. Handball to Baker. East Geelong get out of trouble with the handball. And it's a lovely kick from Baker. Finds Hoey at centre half forward. He goes directly towards the full forward area. Sean O'Leary, he just read it a bit better than his opponent.
Lead, they have got 1 goal straight, and Thomson 2 behind. So ball's back in the middle, and runs underneath the ball. Scrobelak just grabs hold of it, kicks it forward. Doesn't gain a great deal of advantage, but Jerkovic cleans up, goes wide, finds Mitchell on centre wing. He now releases the ball, but it's not a good handball, and Hoey comes through, takes the handball, goes back to Hildebrand. Hildebrand out wide, has found Baker. So Baker now on the left hand, sweeps another long handball, looking for Oppenlander, finds him, goes short, goes longer, looking for O'Leary again in the pocket. O'Leary tries to work Menzies over the ball, and the umpire is now going to throw it back into play. Umpire throws the ball back into play. Sinclair does the ruck work, gets behind. Hoey, good hands to Hildebrand. Kicks off the inside of his boot, goes towards the goal square. O'Leary tries to bustle his opponent out of the way, but picked up there by Harriet. Goes over the top looking for Matthews. He doesn't get a favourable bounce, but he's able to go back and pick the ball up now with Denham, and he picks the ball up. Goes by hand to Jerkovic. Jerkovic again goes back to Matthews, and Matthews transfers play outside the defensive end and finds Wallace leading up the ground. He goes short looking for Hood. That's a well-kicked ball, finds Hood. He goes on quickly, gets back towards the goal square. McLeod McLeod's taken a mark, played on, and has kicked a goal. So some good skill.
Very close on the scoreboard as the ball goes in the air once again. Anderton turned his back on the contest. Ball picked up at ground level by Curtis. He goes wide to the defensive side. Mitchell picks it up, handballs backwards to Harriet. Harriet across the ground to Denneman. So they're going to attack from the northern side, I think, the Thomson side. Denneman now with the footy, really hasn't got anywhere to go. Highlands made position short. Now he kicks it to the lead there of Wallace, and that'll test the hamstring out. A real hard run. Picked up at ground level by Matthews for Thomson. His left foot kick is not talking. They don't realise.
Yeah.
So the ball's thrown in now. Wallace went for the ruck tap. I don't know whether he took the ball. No, the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Looked like it from here, didn't it? He made the contest with Scrobelak because Anderton is right in front of our broadcast point on centre wing, and that's a good move, staying behind a kick behind the play. Now Scrobelak looking for the boundary, doesn't find it. Ball picked up there by Loughnan. In fact, it was Paisley. Handball out of trouble now. Loughnan has the footy. He kicks to the defensive side for East Geelong. Ball picked up there for East by Confey on the ground. The kick is not good. He's found Harriet at half back. Now Highland just forward of the centre. It's not a good kick, and well read there by Primke on that occasion, who took the mark. All the Thomson players contested the mark, middle of the ground, at least all the East Geelong players. The only people who stayed down were Thomson, picked up by Dowie, ends up, gave a handball, got it back. Now the short kick, looking for Babs in the middle of the ground. Primke right into the middle of his back. Umpire blows the whistle, free kick to Jeremy Babb. Inside the centre square, just forward of centre. 11 and a half minutes gone, first quarter. Thomson 1-2, East Geelong 1 goal.
So the ball has been chipped short there by Curtis. The mark has been taken. Now we go forward again. McLeod on a good strong lead, takes the mark out in front, and Jackson McLeod will go back from 40 metres out from goal and have a shot almost directly in front. So a good start to Jackson McLeod. It's his third shot at goal. Distance again, as I said, won't be a concern here. He'll kick from about 45. So Jackson McLeod, staggered approach here. Kicks long now. It's a nice looking kick off the boot. It's got the distance and the accuracy, and it's gone through for a major. So top far, so 12 and a half minutes gone. Scrobelak against Anderton. Ball's thrown in the air, and again up and down before the ball's even thrown up. It's come down. It's been picked up there, but it's been released now to Matthews. He can't pick the ball up, so O'Leary kicks the ball off the ground. Hoey, he picks the ball up. Confronted by a Thomson opponent, goes back and gets it again. Handballs long or out wide to Hildebrand. He tries to take a bounce, but the ball skids on the wet surface. Handball goes now to Sinclair. He feeds the ball around the corner again to Hildebrand, who kicks around the corner, and it has gone through for a minor score.
On first quarter, it's a control kick by Denneman, but the East Geelong forwards read it pretty well. Highland was absolutely pounced upon there, going for the mark, and the ball at ground level doesn't come out. So the umpire, it's only 30 metres from the goal. So Thomson defence again under pressure as East Geelong press forward. Ball thrown up by the umpire. Both ruckmen get it down to ground. Dowie picks it up round the body towards centre wing. Good kick. McLeod, a long way from full forward, takes the mark. Gets a handball back to Matthews. He goes to the middle of the ground. The players leading there is Babb. Picked up there for the Thomson side by Curtis. Handball to the running player. They've got the centre half forward. Oh, Hood with pace. Grabs the footy. Nobody whatsoever inside forward 50. He's missed by a metre to the right hand. 7 Commonwealth Hotel first quarter scoreboard. 14 and a half minutes gone.
So Brad Coy brings the ball back in from fullback. He's played on. He's got the ball outside 50. Wallace with the ball padding along in front of him. Unfortunately.
Wallace?
Yeah, it's a strange matchup, actually.
So Vedder over the So ball thrown back into play again. Babb tries to get Scroblack underneath the ball, but he does well. Scroblack gets the ball to the front of the contest. O'Leary had the ball. Unfortunately, Scroblack again, front position, knocks the ball long this time, goes to O'Leary, goes on the left foot, trying to find Hoey. The ball is chopped off there by Dowie. It's done well, fed back to McLaren, who kicks the ball short, and Opperlander chips in, plays on now, goes long towards half forward. Sinclair's the target from behind. It's done well there. I can't see who the player is. I think it was Lennon. He gets the ball to ground level, but Hoey at ground level's good. Picks the ball up, goes to Confey. Confey kicks, stops and props, goes back towards the centre of the field. And it's been chipped up there by Denham, and the umpire's calling him to play on. So they switch sides once again here, and Tommy Harriet's made the space. The ball is kicked further round. This time Highland has the ball on centre wing, carries the ball, and now the pressure comes from behind. It's a short kick. It's not a good kick. Paisley beats Wallace to the ball. Primke kicks the ball off the ground. Jerkovic puts his head over it. And now the ball comes back. It's fed out by hand. Jerkovic to Matthews. Matthews to Wallace. But the free kick's going to go back, and it'll be taken by Curtis, I think it is, in the centre square. So wing side of the ground. Kicks the ball in towards half forward. Wallace the target. Gets one hand up. McLeod's there for support. But at ground level, Paisley gets the ball. Goes towards O'Leary. He stops. Props. Kicks it over the top. Looking for Hoey. Hoey doesn't let him down. Takes a mark. Handballs to Carpenny. He's on the move. Carpenny crosses over towards the half forward line. Kicks looking for Sinclair. He goes back by hand, looking for support, and Spencer's there. So there's some pressure being applied. Denman picks up the ball, goes back, but Spencer able to pick up the play better than what any other player can. Now it's back in the Thompson's hand, and Eric, I'm having trouble picking it up here. But
it's Lennon's got the footy, and they're mucking around with the Thomson in defence there. Now there's a whistle on play, and I think it's Denman was pinged for incorrect disposal. So Carpenny, a bit of persistence there in the forward half, and the East Geelong forwards have won the free kick through Carpenny. He's within kicking range. He's on a very acute angle on the boundary. It's a nice looking kick from the boundary. It's going to, it's worked its way back and through the goal. So fantastic.
Across the half forward line. Ball back in the centre of the ground. This time McLaren. He's up and jumps and better than the Anderton has been, but he gets the ball down, goes to Singleton, who feeds the ball out to Confey, who has O'Leary running past. He can't take clean possession. O'Leary Gardner picks the ball up, feeds the handball out. There's a push in the back, I think the umpire's indicating, and the free kick will go to the Thomson side. So Jerkovic with the ball. Has the ball back in his hand now. Target up forwards. Wallace goes in that direction. Paisley works him underneath the ball. He's able to get back now with Scroblack again. Positions himself well. Gets the handball round the corner. Goes to O'Leary, who spins, turns on the left foot. Goes towards centre wing. And in front is Baker, I think, out in the far side of the ground. So Baker now with the ball. Plays on. Goes towards centre half forward. O'Leary leading up the ground. Good work this time from Menzies. Get the ball down. Picked up there in defence by the Thomson defence. His kick smothered. And again, it's now has to be worked there from Lennon, who chases the ball down. Handball goes to Gardner. Gardner to Highland. So they've done that a few times in their career. Goes short and over the top. And McLeod again coming up the ground, takes the mark. Good handball. Has Dowie running past. So from outside 50, kicks towards the square. Bounces in the square. Comes back to Hood. Hood tries to kick on the left foot, but unfortunately, it goes through for a minor score.
I think the legs were just going a little bit too quick for him there.
He probably didn't realise that he had more time than he thought. The short kick in came to Baker. Now it's gone to Primke at centre half back. So East Geelong working the ball out, but it's gone wrong there because the mark's been taken over better by Wallace, about 60 metres from the scoring area for Thomson. So they're keeping the ball in the forward half. Wallace goes to the head of the goal square. Hood dropped the mark. He perhaps should have landed on the chest as he was diving forward. Now he's been pinged for holding the ball. I thought you had to be held for that to be the case, but Umpire has given the free kick to Thomas for East Geelong. He's gone wide. Found Hoey on centre wing. He takes the ball and continues running forward. It goes to half forward flank. Denneman from behind. Big punch forward for Thomson in defence. Oh, Hoey bent down to pick the footy up and in turn was tackled. And the tackle certainly was high on that occasion. So free kick to Hoey for around the neck. So Pat Hoey back into the side today. A welcome addition to that east side. Kicks the ball along the boundary line. Sinclair moving forward, has taken the mark on his chest. Still outside 50. Now it goes inside 50 for East Geelong. Gee, I thought McLaren was interfered with on that occasion. Umpire paid the mark and advantage. So at least the free kick. Now Mitchell on half back. Goes to the lead there of Wallace at centre wing. Gardner comes in to support. But...
Umpire now throws the ball back into play. Scroblack, the only bloke in the ruck that actually goes for it. The ball's come to ground level. It's been picked up there by Holland and a good kick towards the top of the square. Bab come out, can't take the mark. Lachlan picks the ball up, goes across goal front, finds Coy. Coy now with a good kick, looking for Capenny, but the Matthews is right with him. It could have been interfered with there, I think, Capenny. Yes, it was over the shoulder, and the free kick goes back to Timmy Capenny. He plays on quickly, goes towards the half-back line, and O'Leary coming from behind takes the mark. Now steadied as Dowey takes his mark, plays on now, kicks around the corner, goes towards centre wing. It beats the first two players there in the contest, but it runs on now to Sinclair. Again, feeds the handball forward. Hildebrand's been taken high, but he plays on. Transfers the direction of play back through the centre, but the kick's not too good, and Mitchell intercepts and now plays on himself. Goes back towards centre wing, and the player there is McLaren. He drops the mark. Highland's there in support, able to pick the ball up. Kick does not effective, and leading in the race for the ball is O'Leary. Good, clean pick up out of defence. Good tackle there too for Eric has just called, and it's gone back now to Pat Hoey, who's back in support. Stops, props and goes wide. Scroblack has taken the mark. I don't know whether they travel the full distance. He's been called to go now, and the kick's wide and finds Singleton on centre wing.
So 22 and a half minutes gone, first quarter. Very entertaining at the moment. Ball going from forward to forward, and ball at half forward for East at the present moment. Harriet picks the footy up for Thomson, goes across the ground, finds Denneman, takes the mark, has players running, gets the handball to Jerkovic, handball to Curtis on the left foot now. He kicks it towards centre wing in front of our broadcast position. Almost a one-handed mark to Matthews. Didn't bring it down, however. Does pick it up. Handball over to Hood. If he picks it up, he's away. Runs towards forward 50. There's the ball towards the lead of Babs. Oh, terrific work, Primke. Fantastic spoil. And ball came to ground, and Primke also put the tackle on Highland to hold the ball up for the East Geelong side. Now there's a whistle on play. Christian Highland with the blood rule, I'd suggest.
And it just hasn't quite lived to its heights just yet.
So we're underway again. Umpire at centre half forward for Thomson. Scroblack gets a tap down. Wallace trying to charge through the pack. He took the ball, he read it extremely well, but he was tackled immediately. Goes to ground by O'Leary. And the umpire will do it all again. Still at centre half forward, inside forward 50 for Thomson. Babs and Scroblack, they wrestle. Umpire allows it to continue. Ball at ground level. Singleton doesn't take the footy. Picked up Baker. Handball to Mick O'Leary. He goes forward to wing. Back inboard go Thomson to McLaren. Takes the mark. Decides to go on. Looking for Babs. He doesn't take the mark. It's at full forward now. Another good tackle on Coy by Jackson McLeod. Now the ball is in the arms of Primke for East Geelong. Goes towards centre wing. Denneman leads in the race for the footy. The boundary might beat them all. It doesn't. Denneman picks it up. He tries to get away from Sinclair. It's a good handball. Good call from Timmy Gardner. He goes inside. Touches the ball on the ground. Now the long kick to full forward. Big pack of players up there. Babs in good position. Can't take the mark. At ground level, it's Wallace, leads in the race for the footy. He's got Hood there in support. Hood picks it up, flicks it back, only as far as Lachlan for East Geelong. Then Carpenny, ball just inside the line of play. And Carpenny now to centre wing. McLaren in good position, can't take the mark, comes to ground. Picked up there, in fact it wasn't picked up by Lennon. Goes it to Denneman. Denneman has Harriet. Good talk back there for the Thomson side. Chip inboard by Harriet, finds his teammate, and that was Towan.
Yep.
And he goes to half forward.
So we've gone towards Wallace, but the spoil comes from Paisley. But Mitchell's knocked the ball back to the advantage of Wallace. Oh, Scroblack a bit careless there in his attempt to take Wallace out of the contest. He's got into his back, and Glenn Wallace will take the resulting free kick. So Glenn Wallace inside the field of play, 40 metres out from goal. About a 45-degree angle here. So again, This will be testing material for a hamstring on a cool day, but he's had plenty of enough time to warm up. So Glenn Wallace goes back, throws the dust in the air. It's going to blow, I can tell you that. It's pretty cold and windy. So Glenn Wallace now for the Thomson side, comes in only off 2 or 3 steps. Not a lot of confidence in the kick there, I don't think, from Glenn Wallace.
No.
It's gone through for 8.5 minutes first quarter.
So the kick in came for East Geelong. Umpire paid the mark about a fortnight late, and East Geelong by that time had the kick towards centre wing. Sinclair tapped down to Hildebrand, can't take the footy, he throws it away, and umpire has signified the other way. So the free kick is going to Hildebrand. Umpire suggested too high, and the ball is on centre wing.
Thomson mightn't have done enough, Pricey. Thomson mightn't have done enough this quarter.
No.
So Hildebrand now kicks the ball towards centre half forward, control kick, mark not taken, comes to ground level, Mitchell overran the footy, handball came out for East Geelong to eventually Michael O'Leary, and the pass goes to Sean, who's a long way from goal. He's taken the mark. We talk about a test on the hamstring at one end. Sean's not going to test his because Mick O'Leary has run forward and accepts a pass back from his brother, so brotherly love, and then put on an Academy Award performance and got no votes.
Oh, it could have gone that way, I can tell you. It wasn't one thing I would have been doing, so.
I've seen a lot worse paid 50 metres for that.
I think the possibility of senior umpires today might well have been the difference there. A junior umpire might have paid the 50, I've got to say. But Mick O'Leary, man on the mark, 35 from goal, and puts a lovely kick off the boot. And in fact, it's a magnificent kick through.
Time to go, but we're back in the centre with McLaren up against Scroblack. Scroblack again, probably just getting a hand on it, but the ball hasn't cleared the centre, although O'Leary picks the ball up, goes by hand to Scroblack, goes to Hildebrand, 4 or 5, but he's able to get the ball forward, and Spencer comes and meets the ball as the siren sounds to end the first quarter here at East Geelong, seeing the home side 3 goals 1. They lead Thomson, who are 2 goals 5.
And goal kickers for the game to date for East Geelong: Sean O'Leary 1, Michael O'Leary 1, and Tim Carpenny 1, and the 2 goals for Thomson, both off the boot of Jackson McLeod. As Dale said, quarter time here in our match of the day. East Geelong 3-1-19, lead Thomson 2-5-17. We'll go to a break. When we return, Paul Price will take those as the game starts. Dale, go for it.
Yeah, out at Inverleigh, 5 goals 2, Bellpost Hill 2 goals 5, Corio 8-5 to Belmont Lions 2 goals 3, Geelong West 3-3, Werribee 3 goals straight. Anarchy 9 goals 4, lead North Geelong 3 goals 2, and Winchelsea 3 behind trail Bannockburn, who are 6 goals 6.
So we're just underway in the second quarter, and a free kick paid in the middle of the ground. The long kick for East Geelong goes inside forward 50, and Sinclair coming forward has taken a strong mark overhead. Man on the mark now, 40 metres from goal, as Sinclair, very confident, kicked it from 50 and got the distance fairly comfortably. So 1 minute gone. East have extended their lead in the middle once again. Ball comes to ground. Oh, Timmy Gardner tackled very high, and umpire's whistle signified a free kick. Decides to go wide. Umpire being rather pedantic. I think he was 3.5 centimetres out of square.
Isn't that play on then? Rather than bring it back.
It was a free kick. You're allowed, or perhaps umpire signified that the game had stopped or something like that. So now we go across the ground again. It's from whence it came. So Denneman takes the mark, plays on quickly now on the left foot. Oh, terrible kick, and he's turned it over now as the handballs come to Sinclair again for East. Starting well in this quarter, goes towards half forward, but Dowie reading the play very well for Thomson, has taken a defensive mark. 2 minutes gone. East Geelong 4-1, lead Thomson 2-5.
So the kick going back towards the centre of the ground. Oppenlander doesn't take the mark in the centre square, but is able at ground level to pick the ball up. Goes on the right foot. Unfortunately, didn't look, and the kick's gone straight back to Dowie in that same position. So Dowie now, this time, goes short, has Highland, goes by hand, and finds Curtis, who's run from behind. Kicks the ball now towards Wallace at centre, on the centre wing. Well, Wallace doesn't take a good mark, doesn't take the mark there, and Paisley picks up, goes by handball to Capeni, to Scroblack, and he now goes forward looking for Howie, and Howie, he doesn't take the mark. So players with basic to be thrown back into play just on the where the 50-metre line meets the the boundary line. It's ball thrown in. It's tapped to the back of the contest. Picked up there by Jerkovic. A long handball. Goes back to Gardner. Gardner picks the ball up. Gets through some traffic. Gets a quick kick. Only about 10 metres. Picked up by Spence, who drives it back towards the goal square. O'Leary drops a mark he'd usually probably take after fending off the opponent. Picked up there by Denneman. There's an interference there of some description. And Nathan Denneman has been given the free kick, I'd imagine, for not having possession and being tackled by O'Leary. So Nathan Denneman again deep in the Thomson defence, goes to the clubroom side of the ground, and Jerkovic has found space by himself, able to take one bounce, plays on now, goes for the second bounce, now kicks the ball towards centre wing, Babs the target, Primke gets the ball to ground and goes back and chases it himself. He can't pick the ball up because there's pressure there, but he does so. Ball's come back now to Baker. Baker feeds the handball to Vetter. Vetter kicks round the corner, going towards half forward, and O'Leary, still chased from where he chased before, has taken the mark. So Sean O'Leary outside 50. Looks down forward. Hoey's going to be a target. Scroblack's not there, unfortunately, so he can't go long. So he chips towards centre half forward position. A nice chip, and Sinclair it is, comes out. Oh, sorry, Singleton, I should say, comes out and takes the mark about 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. So Singleton.
I think he might have exposed Christian Highland for pace there a bit.
Yeah, and just a basic lack of respect. You know, believing, oh, he's only a little fella, they won't kick it to him.
I think Thomson going to realise without Scroblack in the square, they're not going to kick long either. So they look at avenues. So Singleton comes in now, gets to 50, kicks right on 50. Nice looking kick off the boots, got the distance and the accuracy. So East Geelong up and
Billy comfortably as the ball goes up once again. Anderton up and down before the ball came to ground. Picked up for East by Oppenlander, back to Primke, round the corner to centre wing. O'Leary has done well. I think he's drifted up from half back and he's sitting on centre wing and takes the mark. Kicks long, very, very high. Sean at centre half forward, absolutely screaming further up the ground. He was on his own, but how he's taken the mark inside forward 50 anyway. So the desired result was found for East Geelong. And Pat Hoey, normally a pretty reliable kick. The man on the mark's only 30 metres from goal, 45-degree angle. I would think put it up in the breeze and let the wind do the work from there. Albeit for me to tell them, Paul, they're out there doing the job. So Pat Hoey moves in. Good approach. Good looking kick off the boot. East Geelong players are extremely happy with that.
Having a lot of their attack obviously through the centre of the ground, but their effectiveness to win the ball from the clearances. The ball has been thrown in the air. This time Anderton better read the ball, knocks it forward, favours Jerkovic. He tries to take on the players coming after him in Primke. Primke does well, but Gardner ends up with the ball, chips the ball short looking for Anderton, but unfortunately the kick's not good. It's going to be made good. No, it's not, because Curtis is being pressured there from behind by Oppenlander. Ball comes out in the tackle. Umpire does the right thing on this time and will go in and throw the ball up. So not far from the centre square. And this time, as I said, has done work a lot better in the centre contest. Scroblack and Anderton go at it pretty hard. The ball's come down. Now it's in the hands of Bab. He goes back by hand to Matthews. He feeds over the top to Jerkovic, back to Matthews. So Matthews now on the right foot, goes wide and is looking for Wallace, but Paisley's right there. The ball gets behind and Wallace goes back and collects the ball, looking for players to run. The player does run. He gets the handball and goes back to Wallace with the 1-2. So Wallace now crosses over 50, kicks towards the goal square. Has it gone through for a goal? It looks pretty good. He's done the good job there. The
middle, as Dale said, 8.5 minutes gone, second quarter, and interesting game here. Scroblack, eventually both ruckmen up and down early. Ball comes to ground. Curtis got thrown out of the pack there, right in front of the umpire's eyes. No free kick. Contest at half forward between the big fellas. Denneman there coming through, trying to take the footy, tackle high, and has got the ensuing free kick. Not too sure where to go. Kicks it about 3 metres to Harriet. Goodness me, umpire paid a mark. So again, nothing there, Thomson, except maintain possession of the football. Harriet now wide towards centre wing. Wallace again, good mark from behind. A quick handball to Curtis, who was running. That was better. Now Curtis, long, low, skimming kick in the into the forward area, straight into the arms of Brad Coy for East Geelong. So a poor kick there. Now he goes across the ground. Hood went up high. Put his hands in on the shoulder of Carpenny. Umpire whistles that Carpenny will have to come back behind the mark, which he does. Now, still not happy. Sometimes the focus is not on the players in the game of footy, Paul, is it? Rather unfortunate.
Yeah, look, rules are rules, but they can infuriate you at times.
Well, we're here to play footy, aren't we? Goodness me. So we wait now the ball to go back to centre half back. Carpenny, the original recipient of the free kick, now goes straight down the ground. A lead from Scrobelac, takes the mark. There's the 1-2 as Paisley goes through, accepts a handball, kicks it long to half forward. Denneman coming across at centre half back has taken the saving mark for Thomson. Goes wide to the northern side. Mark taken there by Lennon. Now he goes back exactly where it's come from. So they've achieved nothing. In fact, it's gone backwards on that occasion. The lead comes out wide. It's a shocking kick on that occasion for Thomson by Towan. 8 minutes gone in the quarter. Thomson 3-5. Trail East 6-1.
Ball has been thrown back into play. Hildebrand does some work through the contest, able to run outside the contest, gets a kick going forward. Oh, good pressure there from the defence or the attack of the East Geelong side, and the ball's going to end up in the hands of Josh Coy. So a good chase out of defence, and he will be rewarded with a free kick about 30 metres out from goal, and again a kick almost directly in front.
Sort of lack of awareness, Paul, but lack of talk, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, it was a result of probably ambition and capability. The chip around and the backwards, and look, we watch it on Fridays and Saturdays and Sunday nights and all that sort of stuff, but there's a reason why those blokes are paid $300,000 and these blokes are on $30 a win.
So back in the hands now of Josh Coy. So Josh Coy, this will probably be his first realistic shot at goal. Comes in from about 35, he'll kick from. Kicks on the way. Looks a nice looking kick off the boot. Umpire goes back and only a little across a bit, and it has gone through.
Back in the middle. Umpire puts the ball in the air again. Two ruckmen both hit it the same way in Anderton and Scrobelac. Ball picked up there by Hoey. He's tackled. He's put the ground. What's the umpire? He's only in looking for the football. I thought he was having a bit to say to a couple of the players. But we're still in the centre circle as the ball goes up once again now. Neither ruckman get the clear tap down at ground level. Highland tackled high. Umpire agrees. So Christian Highland for Thomson plays on quickly with a handball to Curtis. Curtis to Wallace. And Wallace has taken the mark. Copped one over the ear, but he's kicked it straight to the opposition. And not a good kick. And this time it's Brad Coy in defence. Has taken the mark for the East Geelong side. Comes across the face of goal to Carpenny. Carpenny's taken the mark. Decides to go back into the corridor to Scrobelac. Scrobelac now to Vetter, who's running. Accepts the hand pass. Now the long kick well over the centre. Up high is Harriet. Can't take the mark. Comes to ground level. Gardner used his body. Creates a bit of space for Dowie. Dowie the handball to Jerkovic. Jerkovic now to half forward. Oh, gee, that's a bit of courage there shown by Calder. Not umpire didn't give him any credence, however, as he's flattened in the marking contest. But Anderton at centre half back has taken the mark. He's got a player screaming for it in the middle of the ground. Highland looking at the players coming towards him and dropped the mark. Little chip pass now looking for Hood. They're chipping it around, Paul, a bit much, Thomson, I reckon, as they've turned it over in the middle again now as it comes to Jerkovic for Thomson. He goes for the big barrel. Brad Coy reading it well, drops a mark at half-back flank. He perhaps should have taken under a bit of pressure from Wallace. Wallace does well. 1 against 3, 4, and he's taken them all on. And he's won a free kick for a high tackle.
No,
umpire's pointed the wrong way, I reckon. He's given it to Glenn Wallace. He had the footy.
No, I reckon he's given the don't argue.
Yeah, he has, I think.
Yeah.
Gee,
He's paid for the don't argue, where I thought he had both hands around the footy, so it'd be pretty hard to give a don't argue that way.
Especially when there's 4 East Geelong blokes around, it's pretty hard to fend them all off. But free kick has gone to East. It's gone to Primke. Goes back to the centre of the ground. Pack of players there. Mick O'Leary hit him in the bread basket and then dropped it. Tim Gardner picked up the crumbs. Just a little chip to Hood. Hood now. He's got the lead there from Jackson McLeod. That's a good lead. He's weaved his way amongst 3 or 4 defenders there and taken the mark with the hands out in front of the face. Tell you what, there's nobody up forward. The only bloke there is Scrobelac, and he's certainly not going to kick it there. And he just waves his hand. In fact, he's had to kick it straight towards Scrobelac. Big pack of players there. Scrobelac can't take the mark. However, Primke comes up with the footy. He's tackled. Doesn't get rid of it. What's the umpire going to do? He's going to put a ball up. So it's 25 metres out from goal at the western end, to which Thomson are kicking. The umpire will put the ball into the air at 15 minutes into this second quarter. as Scroblack gets a tap down to Vedder, round the body Vedder to the middle of the ground. Curtis just eased his opponent out of the contest. Little chip pass to Highland. Highland takes the mark, half forward flank. Now back looking for McLeod at full forward. McLeod may well have got a free kick out of that, I think, and I think it was Wallace took the mark, but I think it's McLeod going to get the free kick. Players have no idea. The umpire isn't looking, so the players have made their own arrangements, and Glenn Wallace is going to take the football. I'm sure it was a free kick to McLeod.
Yeah, I think he's being very nice to his coach there. I would have told him, bad luck, son. I'm coming through to kick the goal myself.
So Glenn Wallace, the man on the mark, is now only 20 metres out, near enough to dead in front. So we'll watch this with interest as Glenn Wallace comes in, just chips it over the man on the mark. That's his second for the day. And
more across half forward and makes him look a little bit more dangerous.
So back in the centre of the ground, Scroblack up against McLaren. Scroblack gets the ball down, picked up there by player in Curtis coming through the contest, but players converge on him, and the umpire's now going to call for a throw up once again back in the centre circle.
Interesting, Brad Core is playing loose in the back half.
I think it's Thomson have got the loose bloke in East's forward line.
So ball now cleared out by Singleton going forward, looking for O'Leary. Reads the ball pretty well there, but finds the back. Umpire does that now. Throws it back in front. Sinclair's there. He's back on the ground. Picked up there by Singleton. He was just about to kick it, but it slipped out of his hand. It's picked up there by Lennon. Comes out of defence, goes wide, looking for Mitchell as a two wide. I think it is. So Baker from outside 50, usually a good kick of the football, puts it back towards the full forward position, coming through, and the mark hasn't been taken, but it's been called to play on now, and Curtis has the ball, kick smothered by Coy, able to recover the ball, goes to Jerkovic. Jerkovic feeds the handball out, but East Geelong are applying some good pressure in their forward line. Jerkovic, a high tackle over the shoulder there, ball's not coming out. Umpire says it's coming back to me. So 30 metres out from the East Geelong goal, directly in front of their goal position. Scroblack's now pushed himself down to do the ruck work in that forward line. McLaren gives away size and strength. The ball is tapped down, picked up there. It's not picked up by Harriet. It comes towards Spencer. Spencer's now got the ball out, but it's picked up by Harriet. Now in the arms of Vedder. Vedder gets a bit of strength, gets through the contest. Scroblack just taps the ball to Singleton, kicks round the corner. It's a nice kick. Some good work in the goal square there by O'Leary. And
Curtis to kick in for Thomson, decides to go short. Has a player making space from in Scott on the ground. So Scott now for Thomson, takes the mark, half-back flank, has Highland in short. They're still inside defensive 50, Thomson, so they haven't got the footy too far at this point. As he chips it again, this time to Dowie. Dowie's just the man on the marks on defensive 50, so 4 kicks, and they've only got to the 50-metre line, Thomson. Now Dowie decides to kick it long centre wing. Gee, terrible mismatch there. Babs didn't go for the mark. He was the tallest player. Sinclair took it unattended. So Sinclair now for East. Not a good kick, going towards centre half forward. Contest that in the mark. It wasn't taken by Oppenlander. Jerkovic held without the footy. Let the umpire know. Showed the arms and waved the flag, and umpire obliged with the free kick. So Joe Jerkovic at halfback has the mark, not too sure where to go, decides to go to centre wing Highland, and Sinclair Highland read it well, takes the mark ahead of Sinclair. They're breaking down here. I think the Thomson side, although Hood this time has led up to the football. Now the lead comes from McLeod, up high, but up high from behind him was Lachlan. Dropped the mark, Scroblack accepts a handball, shrugged the tackle, kicks it towards half forward. Mark dropped again, unattended by Towan. He gets a handball away. He finds Scott. Scott now goes backwards with an atrocious kick. He's put Dowie under all sorts of pressure, but he's equal to the task, Dowie. Picks the footy up, now goes towards half forward. That's a good positional play. He's got Hood leading half forward, doesn't see him. Goes long straight to Scroblack. McLeod was good, made a contest. At ground level, the ball comes out to Carpenny, right across the ground. Carpenny, I think he was kicking at the umpire. The lead has come out there from Mick O'Leary. He's got support from Baker and East Geelong. With numbers, comes back to O'Leary, just chips it to Lachlan, and Lachlan on half-back flank takes the mark for East Geelong. He's got a player loose in the middle of the ground, McDonald. McDonald now pulls around the body towards half forward. Oppenlander can't take the mark. O'Leary the crumb, handball to Oppenlander from 50. I reckon he's having a pot shot for goal. Didn't make the distance. Picked up there by Lennon. and Lennon now to half-back flank for Thomson.
So the ball's come to Harriet by hand from Curtis. Goes back to Curtis. So Curtis now kicks the ball towards the middle of the ground, but Scrobelak by himself takes the mark, feeds the ball to Confey. He's under pressure, so now Thomson applied the pressure and will get the resulting free kick. And I thought a 50-metre penalty there for a short period of time, but the ball has come back and it's going to Calder in the centre of the ground. So Calder chips forward, McLeod out in front, doesn't take the mark, will get the free kick for over the shoulder. So unfortunate for Lachlan there. But McLeod's got the ball, goes back by hand to Calder. Calder now kicks towards Wallace, is going to be the target. Scroblack going back with the flight of the ball, takes a mark. So the big fella's playing well. Again, reading the play well. Kicks the ball wide. The kick off the boot wasn't too good, but it's going to get the target in Spencer. He picks the ball up and now transfers back play through the centre of the ground, and McDonald has taken the mark. McDonald has players moving forward and his target's going to be Singleton, but he opts out of the contest. It goes through Denneman's hand, goes to O'Leary. He can't take the mark either. Now it's being chased down by Thomas. Ball's running towards a bound East Geelong side. So ball now thrown back into play. Gardner was up in ruck. The ball's come to the back. It's picked up by O'Leary. He feeds the handball back looking for Oppenlander, but it's been picked up there and by Thomas. Thomas is tackled and the umpire says it's mine and will take possession of the ball. So outside the 50-metre zone in between there and centre wing. Again, East Geelong's attacking into the ground. Ball thrown up. Scrobelak knocks the ball to the boundary line. It's picked up there by Vetter. Gets the handball across to Singleton. So Tingleton directs the ball back to the centre of the ground. Good mark out of the goal square there by Lennon. So Ryan Lennon has a chance to steady things up. He goes short. Highland comes forward, presents, takes the mark. Has options wide, but he's slowing things down, looking for the options to present. McLaren's one of those, but he's going to look for the longer option, McLeod. No, he doesn't. Change his mind once again, and that's what he's doing. He kicks the ball straight up the ground, looking for Lanyon, and Carpenny's good, gets the handball, hand on the ball. Probably didn't think there was too much in that, but the free kick has gone to Lanyon. He crosses the ball out, goes towards Highland. Highland goes back to Lanyon, so now they play the 1-2, and Lanyon kicks forward. A poor kick, but it's worked well because Towan slipped in front of Scroblack and taken the mark. Plays on directly, goes wide, looks for Wallace. In front, Lachlan takes the mark, and that's a good strong mark across half back. He now plays on, goes back to Primke by hand and kicks the ball from centre half back. A standing kick, goes to the centre of the ground. Gardner and McDonald. Gardner wins out this time. Gardner, guess he was kick it to. It's Highland. So Highland now doesn't seem to be running in quicker than I am in the box up here at the moment. His kick round the corner's not good, but it's made good by Hood, who meets the ball. He now runs towards goal. Long kick heading towards the goal square. Going back with the flight is the player in Wallace. Wallace has taken the mark, I think, inside the field of play. So Glenn Wallace will go back and line up for his third and the Thompson's fifth.
But stiff Hood, he's been out there 3 or 4 times where they've sort of been Wallace or McLeod conscious and gone in that way. So it was good that he continued to keep leading up, kept his head and went, well, I won't give up on it and just try and go forward and get an easy one. Just kept leading and eventually got hold of one.
So Wallace, not a great deal of distance, kicked this ball over, but just the angle to contend with. He goes back and kicks it straight back over the umpire's head. So Glenn Wallace,
Anderton and Scroblack. Scroblack did the best of it, but at ground level, Thomson do well. The handballs came out to Matthews. Advantage paid. Matthews to half forward. McLeod didn't quite reach the mark. A kick there forward by Lachlan. Intercepted by Oppenlander. He hooks it back into the centre half forward position. Mitchell for Thomson, takes it over to Harriet. Harriet just gets his kick in time to Anderton. Anderton quickly by hand to Calder. And Calder on that left foot's an atrocious kick. Goes through about 4 pairs of legs, finally into the arms of Primke. He goes out wide. Out there on his own is Coy. Josh, handball quickly to Vetter. Vetter just ahead of the tackle, gets the kick away towards half forward. As Thomson players, not much talk there. Anderton spoiled his teammate. The ball now flicked forward. Thomson working hard in defence. Singleton, the handball's gone nowhere. And picked up by Michael O'Leary. He's looking to get a free kick for around the neck. I thought he was tackled around the waist. It goes by hand to Anderton towards half-back Timmy Gardner. Good play, just punched it forward. And now there's...
Free kick against Michael O'Leary for telling the umpire what he thought of his decision.
So the free kick's gone to Dowie on half-back flank for Thomson at the 27-minute mark. Now called to play on by the umpire. Man on the mark's gone, so but Dowie decides to go forward. It's not a good kick. It's been almost marked by Vetter on centre wing. Bends down, picks it up, handball straight to Mitchell. Mitchell to Babb by hand, then to Calder. Calder for Thomson towards half forward. Player in McLeod running with the flight of the foot. He showed some courage, went for the ball. This time it's Calder again. Handball over to Curtis. Can he get it? Get it to McLeod. Oh, he didn't. He's gone instead to Hood, who's in the goal square almost. Decides to play on after taking the mark. And a very important... All the forward line's open.
Yeah, look, it's far better than waiting for Scrobelack to drop back or someone.
So Sinclair now doing some ruck work, weaves his way around Anderton, but Gardner picks the ball up and it goes to Calder once again. Calder kicks short, looking for McLeod. He's out in front. Good clean pick up, goes to Hood. Hood running towards goal. The kick's gone through and it will be a no score. So half time here at East Geelong. East Geelong lead 7 goals, 2 to the Thomson side.